busy. I got you. Go get you niggas going. Go get some help. Boy, I saw your ass get Shanti a pass, nigga. And you could have took that bitch out, so what's up, Raheem? Yo. Oh, shit. Damn, bro. Gee, you either with me or you ain't. All right? I told Shanti it was a coalition meeting here tomorrow night. Knowing the whole time that bitch ain't gonna do shit but go back and tell Tommy ass. Nigga gonna fall right into my motherfucking trap.
Am I calling a favor? I was wondering if this number was still gonna work. I need your help.
Send me the details, and I'll be there. I'm on my way.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video. We're officially here with season 3, episode 10 of Power Book 4 Force, the last and final season, the series finale. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of got mixed feelings on this one. We all was preaching how Force was 9 for 9, it just had to nail the finale, and this one has its ups and downs for me, so we got to go ahead and break everything down. It kind of really didn't feel like a finale, and even though we knew it was getting a new spin-off, a new show with Tariq and Tommy, I feel like a lot of storylines and loose ends were still left out there. So maybe they're going to continue in the next series, but Tariq and Tommy was talking about going to New York. We're going to discuss all that in a video tomorrow, discussing the new spin-off. But in this video, like I said, we got to break down what took place in this episode, the war for Chicago. Of course, Tommy, Miguel, Shanti versus Jannard, CBI and the coalition, all the betrayal and deaths, everything that took place within this episode, Vic returning, Tariq coming to save the day, and him and Tommy forming a new alliance to take over New York. So like I said, let's go ahead and break all this down. As usual, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on this finale. And like I said, we're breaking down the spin-off tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So obviously we start in the aftermath of Diamonds that Shanti and them had an inside man, which was Raheem. So a lot of guys was right about that. We're about to get to it, but we know when they went and attacked the church that Diamond, CBI, and the coalition was hiding out at, Diamond ended up jumping in front of bullets to save Jannard, and he ended up dying. So we knew in this episode Jannard was going to be on this rampage out for revenge, and the episode kicks off with that right away, with him staking out the funeral like most of us suspected. Obviously he didn't end up doing anything because they had so much police there that they just couldn't get the job done. But when he went back and everybody was saying rest in peace to Diamond and everything like that, he went and confronted Raheem about what he saw when they were shooting at Shanti and them. And you guys was right about him noticing Raheem wasn't shooting back and that he was hiding, taking cover. So he questioned him about that, then asked him to see his phone. Raheem wouldn't give it to him, so that was the first body off rep. He ended up smoking Raheem right there, pulled his phone out, found out he was working with and for Shanti. That's how they got the drop and location on him in the last episode. And then later we hear that he left that body in Shanti's ring. So Shanti, she goes and lets Tommy know that they no longer have an inside man. This is where Tommy's plan comes into motion, where he goes to Grayskull. We know Grayskull has not been fucking with Jannard this whole season. Like, he's been on this nigga head about him doing drugs, about him being dumb, about him constantly fucking up, not giving them DMAC. Then with King Kilo dying, then he sent his guys, the RDs, after Tommy the last episode, and Tommy got the ups on him. Well, actually it was Chase, man, but nonetheless more RDs got taken out. So Tommy goes and talks to him in this episode and gets him to be the new inside man, basically saying it was Jannard who killed JP and King Kilo. Said Jannard killed y'all boss, all I want you to do is let me know their next plan and next move. To make his next move, he of course met up with Shanti, or Shanti met up with him at least, tried to say that she was gonna turn on Tommy, that it was their plan to work together since the very beginning, and they both was bullshitting each other, acting like, oh yeah, we good, now we gonna make it work. They both knew it's bullshit. So Shanti told this to Tommy. This made Tommy go to Grayskull, and then Jannard think he came up with this master plan that he knows Shanti is gonna go back to Tommy, and they're gonna be lying in wait for them to attack them, and they're gonna lead Tommy and Shanti them right into a trap. But not knowing about Grayskull and the RDs flipping on him, obviously they gave Tommy that information, which gave them the the upper hand to go and attack. Now Miguel and them told Tommy that, hey, we're still gonna need more muscle, we just don't currently have enough. And this one, obviously, he makes the phone call into our boy Tariq. For some reason, even going into today, they had so many people believing Tariq wasn't showing up for whatever reason. Like, I don't understand. They had so many clues, hints, and everything for over a year and a half at this point. But obviously, they go and attack Jannard. Everybody's taking flesh wounds. Shanti got hit, Miguel got hit, everybody. And Tommy, he's eventually getting surrounded. And just when it looks like it's over for our boy, he's trying to reload. Obviously, Tariq pops up out the cut, saves him, and Jannard and CBI has to retreat. Now, with Tommy winning this battle, he essentially wins the war, as everyone else in the coalition then flips on Jannard and goes and joins Tommy. And he's just by himself at this point, because we're going to get into the next, but the Marquez cartel joined the Spada cartel and they took out Tega, so he don't have them back him no more. So he's literally on his lonesome, and they didn't even kill him. They didn't even, this CBI decided not to even shoot and take him out. They just left him there by himself, and that's of course where Vic comes in the picture, but we're gonna get to him next as well. Now, to get into the Vic and the police side of things, because I actually found this interesting and a bit of a surprise. So obviously, we know, going back to a few episodes ago, Tommy found dirt on Stacy, or he was able to utilize this old witness to blackmail her to doing what he wanted, pinning the murder on one of the Marquez cartel members. And eventually got to a point where Stacy says fuck it, she don't care if she's dirty, if Tommy exposes her, she's not working for him no more. So he ends up smoking her, obviously taking her out. This leads her ex-husband to having this vendetta against Tommy, wanting to bring him down, telling him he's gonna do that. And they went to, of course, Vic to try to get his help. Now, he, knowing Tommy killed Stacy, goes in the wind, goes on his own, and he confronts Tommy. He has a chance, an opportunity right here to kill him. Doesn't end up doing it, and Bobby, Stacy's ex-husband, pulls up and arrests Vic. So during this, of course, when they arrest him, Bill, the nigga who's becoming the new district attorney, the one who's working for the Marquez cartel, pushes for Vic to say it was Tommy who killed Stacy, and Vic says, if I do that, you gotta let me go. Vic does this, and he gets on a plane and leaves with Ray. We think he's never going to be seen again, but of course we saw him in the preview trailer. We're going to get to that next, but I want to talk about the police side of things. Bill, the nigga who's working for the Marquez cartel, of course, he gets caught by Bobby, Stacy's ex-husband, meeting with the fake lawyer for the Marquez cartel, the one who met with Merkovich earlier this season, right before Merkovich died, one who met with Claudia. So he met with him, and he saw that Bill took money from him. So he questioned him in this episode and basically threatened him, say, you're gonna help me get Tommy Egan, or I'm gonna expose you to everybody, and you're not gonna become the district attorney, none of that. So they put a plan in place to call Tommy, act like Bill wants to start working with him, that he could get him off, have somebody on the inside, this and that Bobby will be listening in the background. So they set up this meetup. Now, lucky for Bill, Tommy at this point had already killed Ortega, because earlier in this episode, Chase set a meetup with Miguel, with Ortega, and with Tommy, and said the Spada cartel and the Marquez cartel are combining as one, so ain't no more war, ain't no more beef with both sides. Tommy saying, nah, I'm good, I'm not fucking with this, I'm not working with the Marquez cartel, I'm not working with Ortega. And Chase was like, nah, you don't got no fucking choice. And Tommy gets up, tries to leave, and Shay was like, ever since this one person came to Chicago, they've been causing all the problems. So Miguel and Tommy looking like, hey, he about to kill Tommy, fuck, ain't nothing we could do about it. But he hands Tommy the gun and lets Tommy kill Ortega. So this sets the new district attorney, the Bill nigga, free. So this sets the Bill nigga free from the Marquez cartel and Ortega. So later in the episode, when Tommy and him meets up and Tommy catches him wearing a wire, trying to get him to admit that he killed Stacy, everything like that, and he had a safe word, he said wife, and Bobby popped up out the cut, and him and Tommy are pointing the gun at each other. Tommy not backing down, he not backing down. The Bill nigga pulls out his gun and kills Bobby. Like I said, probably was the biggest surprise and shock to me this entire episode. He kills Bobby and they actually can work together. He lets Tommy know he's not recording nothing on the wire, even though I feel like Tommy still should have took the shit, but he said he was just wearing it for a show. He didn't want to incriminate himself either. It make no sense. But him and Tommy actually are gonna work together now that he took out Ortega for him and now that he killed Bobby for him. So they kind of have a mutual agreement to keep each other clean, keep their secrets, everything like that. So that ended up working out for him. I like that they actually did something with the police storyline and then it didn't just end abruptly. So that was pretty cool and random to see. But of course, going back to the Vic side of things, we of course saw that he was away with Ray and he actually called up one of his old members of the Flynn organization to kill Tommy. This dumbass nigga tried to kill Tommy with a knife. Tommy got the upper hand and killed him. So when Vic called his phone, or when Vic got the call asking if he got the job done, if he killed Tommy, Tommy let him know, I shouldn't have let you live. I'm gonna kill you and Ray, you gotta go. So Vic over there stressing the entire time. He then sees the news where it's talking about Diamond dying and everything like that, and he decides he's gonna go back in Chicago and take out Tommy once and for all. And we then don't see him till the end of the episode, where we see him and Jard at his lowest. He just lost the SODs, the RDs, and CBI. He's by himself, and Vic lets him know that he's gonna work with him to take out Tommy once and for all. So maybe they do have a big role and part to play in the new spinoff. But yeah, that's how Vic's storyline ends, as well as the police side of things, with Bill becoming the new district attorney, looking like he's probably still going to be working with Tommy, a part of his organization. We're going to talk about this more in the video tomorrow for the spinoff, but Tommy and Tariq's organization, where both of them left off at the end of their series, is very similar. So it's kind of strange they're going back to New York instead of conquering a new location. But like I said, we'll talk about that more tomorrow. Now, with all that happening, you can see why I said this episode got its ups and downs and doesn't really feel like a finale. So we get to the end where like I said, Vic and Jard are teaming up, so they both still alive. Tommy, he basically has the Spider cartel with Che, and the Marquez cartel has the whole coalition, the SODs, the RDs, CBI, has Shanti, Miguel, the Insane Princess, and now has Bill as the new acting district attorney. So everything is good with him. We end off with a conversation with Tariq and Tommy though, where they're talking about Tariq and his life in New York and everything like that, and him wanting to get Maria back, because something I failed to mention throughout this video is Maria decided to leave so that Tommy could go and win the war, so that her and her baby wouldn't be in the way, that they'll be safe and everything like that. So Tommy's talking about finally getting a chance to be with them, but Tariq lets him know that, hey, you should come back to New York, we take over there, which once again, it's interesting. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow, but I thought Tariq kind of had New York on lock, but they talk about going back to New York and completely taking over. I thought they was gonna hit a third city or something like that, but they had this conversation, these dreams of being like the biggest ever. Basically, they talked about old conversations they had about 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and now they all in. Obviously had a conversation mentioning ghosts. No, it's funny because Tariq and D-Mac had a conversation in this episode as well. D-Mac talking about losing his father, and Tariq talking about, I know how you feel. Nigga, you did that shit. Like, you don't know how you feel. Fuck out of here. But that shit made me laugh. But nonetheless, if they're going to New York, I don't know who they would bring. I guess, like I said, they would bring D-Mac. D-Mac said in the scene with Tariq that all he has is Tommy, so I guess that makes a lot of sense. But as for the other characters, it makes sense for Miguel, Shanti, and everybody to stay. But if they're leaving Jard and Vic alive, they didn't kill them off, and they're going back to New York, I don't understand why they are alive, because when would they have a chance to get revenge or get back at Tommy? I don't know. They have a lot of questions we're gonna have to see and get answered for the spinoff, but the episode ends with Tariq and Tommy deciding to make this alliance and be the new top dogs, basically. overall though, that's it for this video. I definitely think this episode was probably the weakest of the season, and that doesn't mean it was bad necessarily, but the other ones went 9 for 9. I think the hype was just so high for the finale, and the fact that this was possibly the best season of Force and the best season of Power we had in a while in general, that I don't know, maybe my expectations was just way too high. But obviously you can see that a lot of this was just set up for Power Legacy, which we already knew was coming, but I thought a lot of it would have a more definitive ending. So we still have a lot more questions, and of course with the Crew Has It podcast coming back later this week, maybe we get more answers over the weekend and everything like that. We still need to get a Raising Kanan trailer. Hopefully we get more news on Power Origins. All we know at this point is Power truly never ends. It's just not gonna stop. So you guys could always let me know how you feel down below in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'm out.